Hi, I'm Ian.
And I'm Nick.
And we are
the Too Fat DJs.
So welcome to episode 3 of Too Fat DJs. And a big hello to everyone who's maybe watching us for the first time. We're really enjoying doing these, and we want to say hello to everyone who's joined us in the Too Fat DJs Facebook group. If you've not been there yet, you need to go and search us out. So get onto Facebook and just search for Too Fat DJs. That's T-O-O, as in too fat, not.
Loads of messages again as well. Are you getting lots of messages?
Yeah, getting some really good support from people. I mean, this is a really rough and tumble podcast. It's very honest. It's not recorded with high resolution 8K mega cameras or super duper sound, apart from these boxy little microphones. But I think people really like that, and we are getting a lot of people messaging us with support, which is great. And it's good actually to just to kind of lay it all out as honest as we can.
Yeah.
And it just shows us that we're just human at the end of the day. We have ups and downs like everyone else.
Yeah, I think our struggles are pretty much the same as everyone else's, male or female, and even kids. I've had kids say things to me as well, which we'll talk about later on. But yeah, I think everyone that can probably sympathise with what we're going through has the same struggles as us. So
absolutely, yeah. And for the first time properly now, we're recording it on video because Nick's worked out how to record it. So not only can you hear us, but you'll now also be able to see us. But now we've got to work out where we're going to post these videos now. We're going to set up like a YouTube thing as well.
Do you want to just tell everyone about the what you've been doing as well, what you've been working on?
Yeah, so I've been pretty busy this week. We kind of rushed our way through trying to make sure that people could get access to our podcasts. So we were on Buzzsprout for a while, but what we didn't realize that Buzzsprout only give you a limited amount of minutes per week or month or whatever it was. So a friend of mine pointed me towards another website called Anchor, which is owned by Spotify, and they have a great kind of space where we can upload all of our podcasts. So that's where we're going to be from now on, and those podcasts also get shared out to Spotify and to Amazon, and we're now on Apple Podcasts as well. And we are on Google, but well, we're getting there. Google have been really slow, which is not unlike Google. So we will be on Google soon. So if we upload this video to YouTube, then what we'll do is we'll stick all of the important links down there and make sure you click subscribe wherever it is.
Is it true to say that we are now a truly global podcast going out all over the world?
We are literally global, which is great. I quite like the idea of someone sitting on their veranda in Kentucky, watching us whilst a load of chickens kind of run past. Or
incidentally, now you say that, when we were looking at the stats, you listeners might be interested to know, that obviously gives us a breakdown of where people are listening, and we do actually have listeners across the globe at the moment. So there are a few people in America. I think there was one in Australia, one in New Zealand. So interesting that it goes out to those people, and hopefully as it grows, we'll get a wider audience as well. But yeah, it's all good at the moment. Really enjoying it, and it's fun. And like I say, getting some lovely messages, great feedback. From all sorts of people. So yeah, thanks ever so much again for listening in, and we really do appreciate it, and we're enjoying doing it. So, and if it helps anyone, great.
Absolutely, and that's the whole point of this, because it helps us, and we're helping you guys as well, which is what it's all about.
It's all about accountability.
Exactly, because without the accountability, I personally need that in order to make it work for me. So without further ado, every episode, what we do is we start with our latest updates. Now, both Nick and I are doing Slimming World. Here's my book here. As you can see, I've got 3 stickers. And if Nick holds up his book, which I'm sure he's got to hand, Nick's doing a bit better than me. Look, he's got loads of stickers. But to be fair, he's been on it a bit longer than me, so that's okay. So last week, I lost 5.5 pounds, which was great. I weigh myself on Mondays. Today is Wednesday. Nick's weighed himself this morning. But yeah, on Monday, the scales told me I'd put 1 pound on, which is bonkers. I was really surprised by that. In fact, I was really pissed off, if I'm honest, by that. Yeah, it wasn't nice. And to be honest, I couldn't hang around for the Slimming World meeting. So I just wanted, it felt like I was running away. I just wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. So I put all my clothes back on. They don't like me weighing in naked down there. I don't know why that is, but I put my shoes back on quickly and I ran off. And I did get a message from the consultant just saying, look, don't worry about it. It's all cool. So, yeah, so 1 pound on. So I'm a bit gutted with that. However, and I don't normally do this because I don't like doing it, and it's something we're going to be talking about later on. I weighed myself this morning because it's Wednesday today, and the scales upstairs say in 2 days since my last weigh-in, I've lost 5 pounds, which is great if it is true, but obviously I only really want to weigh myself with one set of scales at Slimming World. So, but it has kind of picked me up and pushed me on to carry on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's my update. So 1 pound on. So yeah, I was gutted with that, to be honest.
I think the one thing you should have taken out of that, and which I know you have taken out of it, is the fact that although you'd put on, or it seemed as if you'd put on, or you did put on, you actually, although you were pissed off to start with, and I know you were pissed off because I read the messages, but but it's very easy then to just think, oh, I don't want to bother. I don't want to bother.
Oh yeah,
you know. So actually, to get yourself out of that mindset and crack on. And then, again, we share our activity that we do on our watches, so we know what we're doing. And, and I see what Ian's doing and he sees what I'm doing. And he often moans at me and says, have you actually put your watch on your wrist today? And half the time I have, but just haven't done anything. So I see what he does and I know what he's doing and I know he's doing it. And the one thing I said to him, look, whatever you think is happening at the moment, what you're doing now, it's a damn sight better than what you were doing 2 months ago. So it's an improvement. It's whatever you're doing is working.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to appreciate that your bodies are very complex. And again, something we'll talk about, when you eat food, it doesn't always register, or it might register quicker than other food. It might show up as a weight gain or a loss. It can be really odd the way that gains and losses show up in your body. So don't ever get disheartened about it. And yeah, I mean, fair play to you. You've just cracked on and you've carried on and just, that's happened. It's happened. And I'm sure next week, you'll make there'll be a big difference again. So.
Well, let's hope so. I did sit there and I really stressed over why I'd put a pound on, because I'd actually done quite a bit of exercise last week. I'd done a lot of walking around. I'd been super duper tempted at one of the gigs I was at with the food. Well, only until it really started to affect my smell, and which I found was weird because it looked nice when it came out, but it was super greasy, and they had samosas on there, onion bhajis and little cocktail sausages, which were obviously all deep fried, and they were like a meter to my right hand side. Yeah. And so of course people were queuing, so they were walking past me with full plates as they were heading back to their own tables, and it was just like, I've got a bloody apple and a bottle of water, and it was really stressful, but I didn't do it. And I felt better for not doing it, but I did feel ill just from the stench of the buffet. So, and then I started to question everything that I'd ate during the week. Now, the only thing that was kind of different this last week to the week before was that I wasn't documenting what I was putting in my mouth so much. So I thought, well, maybe that's it. So I've started doing that again. But it was just odd. And then I thought, well, okay, maybe it was the crisps. So I tend to eat maybe a bag of crisps a day. Each one's about 100 calories. They're the low calorie ones that you can buy. So like, you can get things like Monster Munch. They come in like 5-gram bags or something ridiculous. They're not very big. But they are quite high in fat. So I thought, well, maybe that's it. So I've cut those out this week. But other than that, I was really struggling. And then I thought, well, maybe it's the Hello Fresh, which we're doing at the minute. And again, I mean, I've cancelled it for next week. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish it this week, have a week off, and cook our own food, because there are some things that we still, that we like to eat that we can't get from HelloFresh. So we're going to give that a go for a week, and then see how we weigh in. Not the Monday coming, but the following Monday. And then maybe go back to the HelloFresh, because the thing is with HelloFresh, even though the calorie controlled meals are under 650 calories, they are really high in fats. But what I've since discovered is, even though they may be high in fat, which is 20 to 30 grams or more, it's the saturated fats, which is what you need to concentrate on. And I didn't want to get too technical with the nutrition stuff, because I thought, well, I'm going to start looking at the back of packets and starting to think, well, look, it's got half a gram of saturated fat. I can't eat that. But a lot of the HelloFresh stuff is about 8 or 9 grams of saturated fats. And they say guys maybe up to 30 grams a day, women up to 20 grams. So if I'm not eating anything else that's like really bad during the day, then the HelloFresh stuff should be good. So, but we're gonna have a week off and see how we get on. But I'm not stressing out over it too much. I mean, seeing the £5 loss this morning has pushed me on. Not that I trust it, but I've got a really busy weekend of events coming up, and it's Mother's Day, and we're going out for Sunday lunch on Mother's Day. So
just going back to HelloFresh and the saturated fats and all of that, does the traffic light system relate to anything with HelloFresh? I've not, to be honest with you, I've not looked on the back. I've had an order from them as well. But do they use the same traffic light system, about the good, the bad, the ugly in terms of fat?
No, they don't. No, it's let me just grab one of the menus. So this is what you get from a HelloFresh menu card. So it's got a picture of the food, like all the ingredients are here, and this is a time roasted chicken. It's under 650 calories, and then you've just got like the method on the back. So it tells you the ingredients on the back, so whether you're cooking for 2, 3, or 4 people, and also the nutritional information. So I mean, this one, which I thought was really nice, actually, I did enjoy that. Per serving was 492 calories, but then it breaks it down, so you got fats, saturated fats, and so on and so on. But the nutritional information you get on here doesn't relate to the nutritional information that I get through an app which I use for tracking my weight called NutriCheck. So I was a bit worried about that, but you know what? I mean, we'll just crack on. But what we're going to do is, on our week off, we're going to take the best of these recipes that we've had on HelloFresh, and we're going to make them, but with lower fat meat, for example. So, I mean, if we take this one, the Thai-inspired pork noodles, which we really liked, the pork mince that they give you for that is like up to 30% fat. Now, you can buy pork mince from Tesco's or the butchers or whatever for like 5% fat or 10% fat. So we'll make that, but with the lower fat mince. And we'll see how that impacts it. We had one last night, which was really nice. You and I had a chat about adding some extra veggies to it because it needed the veggies, and it was so good. It was so good. We really enjoyed it. And but yeah, so that's me. I've had a bit of a struggle, a bit of a blip with the weight increase, but what about you?
It was odd because I was really good up until Saturday night. I had a gig in Bury St Edmunds, and it was quite a nice hotel actually. And unusually, the buffet food came out at about 7:30, 8 o'clock because they'd been there. It was quite a late ceremony, and the buffet food was really nice, and it was all home cooked. So, when you visit Cornwall and you go past the bakers and they have the pasties all lined up and they're huge and they cut one in half so you can see exactly how much meat is in a pasty. And you just think to yourself, you could not have put any more meat in that, and it's just browned off like it. It's just beautiful. And the pastry is golden. Well, they'd made similar things to this, but they'd also made these sausage rolls. But the sausage rolls were about that big by about that long, you know? So,
Yeah.
and they were all like egg washed and dark. And I kept looking at them thinking, I reckon I could eat that whole plate of them, you know, they're quite easily because I hadn't had. Now, the other thing is as well, obviously, where I've been suffering with my sinuses for the like 3 years and my taste and smell has disappeared for 3 years. Now, all of a sudden, I'm on a new medication. I've got my taste back and I've got my smell back, which has really changed everything. And I mean everything. It's I know people take it for granted, but when you can start to smell and taste things again, it's like it's weird. Anyway, so all through the night, oh Nick, are you gonna have something to eat? I said, no, I'm fine, honestly. No, are you gonna have something? You know, and then they become really insistent and they say, you've got to have something. I said, no, I'm not, I'm on a diet, really. You know, I'm trying to watch what I eat. But you can have this and you can have this, and like you're an expert now, are you? You know, I appreciate you being kind, but please don't keep asking me. Anyway, I succumbed and I had a sausage roll. Well, I have to say, it was probably the best sausage roll I've ever tasted in my life. And no one had touched the buffet really because the poor girl whose wedding it was quite honest and said that she'd forgot to send the invites out, would you believe? So there was about 30 people there and loads of food. So I had a sausage roll and I absolutely loved it. I really did. It was like heaven for me. So all the way home, I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe I'm like beating myself. I can't believe I've cheated. I can't believe. What do I do? Do I tell Ian I've had a sausage roll? Do I tell Doris I've had a sausage roll? Do I just come clean? Do I just say, look, hands up, guys, I've done something really bad? It's like I've nearly murdered someone, you know. It's like I've got a confession to make. What? I've had a sausage roll. You what? You've had a sausage roll? Are you mad? So I felt really bad about it. And then that's been playing on my mind, you know, and I've been thinking to myself, well, I ain't going to lose any weight this week. And then Doris kept saying to me, it's a sausage roll. Don't worry, it's a sausage roll. That's all. You'll be fine. So anyway, I weighed in this morning, to cut a long story short, and I'd lost 2.5 pounds. So I was well chuffed. I really was. And I got my official
Well,
3
hey,
stone
3 stone.
certificate to say that now I've lost 3 stone 2.5 pounds. So again, I've gone over that sort of landmark 22 stone now. So from 26, I'm now in the 22. So I'm on my way to my 4th stone now. So I'm really, really pleased. And surprising. I mean, I feel really good. I feel really good about myself. I feel that good that I can wear thick rimmed glasses and a hat doing a podcast. You know, that's what it does to my confidence. I mean, it's unbelievable. And as people know, I suffer with my confidence quite a bit. So which, so, so yeah, I'm really, really pleased. And I ordered some jeans this week as well, which were, well, as we said before, I used to wear my jeans above my teaser strip. So I used to be a 54-inch waist jeans or trousers, and I've just ordered and had delivered, and they fit a 44-inch waist black skinny jean, which I put them on and I was like amazed. And again, some people will think 44, that's big, mate. But going from 54, it's quite a.
Oh, that's really good.
So I was well chuffed. And again, yeah, we'll come on to it in a minute, but it's amazing what it does for your confidence as well, you know. And
Oh yeah.
you know, have you found that as well? Are you starting to feel more confident?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've noticed that some clothes are starting to get a little bit longer and they cover the teaser strip a little bit more. But interesting what you just said about you wear your jeans above the teaser strip. I can't think of anything worse. So I always wear my jeans below the teaser strip.
Yeah.
So my jeans are only 42 inch. So
Yeah, I know. We had this conversation before, didn't we? It's
yeah.
weird. You know, I don't know why I've always done it. Even, you know, when I was at school. I mean, I don't look like Simon Cowell because obviously, but then, you know,
No,
this
yeah.
might be a horrible, this might be a horrible pitch for some people, but my boxer shorts, I pull my boxer shorts quite up over my teaser strip as well. But then what happens is as I walk, they gradually fall down the backs of my legs. So I get to the supermarket, I'm at the freezer aisle, and all of a sudden, my boxer shorts are around my knees, and I have to sort of hide in the corner and pull them up. You know, it's terrible.
No, it's weird how we all wear clothes differently. But
I
you know,
know.
I did. I mean, the jeans I got, they're skinny as well, and I quite like the skinny ones because usually when you get to kind of our kind of size, you find that well, not so much more recently, but say 10 years ago, if you had to buy say 46, 48-inch trousers or jeans or whatever, they'd always look like old man's clothes. Like, so
Yeah.
the shirts would be old man's, the jackets, the jumpers, everything would be like an old man clothes. Now, not so much these days because companies like Giacomo and Joe Brown's and quite a lot of other companies now are bringing out more kind of current clothing. And this is something that we touched on last week as well, because when they advertise their clothing, they still use models who are a lot thinner and don't weigh like 24, 25 stones. So
Yeah.
you get a false view of what those clothes are going to look like on you. But
Very clever
it's,
marketing. Very clever.
yeah, it is. It is very clever marketing, and that's what it's all about.
So let's talk about weighing in every day. This came to my attention because I did see someone on social media that was weighing himself every day. And I personally think that's a terrible idea. And I know everyone's got their own opinions of it, and I totally get that. And I personally think it's not a very good way to track your weight. I don't think it's an accurate way of tracking your weight either, because, like we touched on earlier, I think your bodies are so complex in terms of the way that food goes on and off, and if it shows or it doesn't show. I think that you really should be weighing yourself once a week, end of. And if you can get to a class and do it so that you're accountable in front of someone, so that you feel that embarrassment if you haven't had a good week. Because if you're weighing yourself, if you're weighing yourself in your bathroom, in your lounge, in your kitchen, or your bedroom, and you've put on a pound, in reality, no one needs to know you've put on a pound. No one at all. But if it's documented and it's in front of a class, and please, people, don't think that you stand in front of a class like you've probably seen on Little Britain and they say, "Oh, Nick, have you?" Nick's put on £3 this week, ladies and gents. Play. It's nothing like that. It's confidential. You get weighed in, you get told what you've lost, it gets documented. But there is also that sort of fat shaming, where if you have had a bad week, you need to be told you've had a bad week. It's tough love. It really is. It's motivation. And it's, you know, you, we do this because we care. We're doing it because we want to make a difference. And if you've had a bad week or you've gone off track, you know, someone probably needs to tell you you've gone off track and you need to get back on track. You need to get yourself sorted out, because believe you me, if no one said anything, it'll probably mean that they don't really give a monkeys. And
No, exactly.
So,
And when I saw that the weighing thing was coming up in this episode, I did a bit of research.
yeah,
Right. So this is actual research, and I've got all the research here on my iPad. So a lot of the fitness and health websites I looked at online actually say weighing yourself daily is a powerful weight loss tool. Because when you see, I mean, one website here, what is it? Fit and Well say that it's a powerful weight loss tool because it, where is it? Something about, oh, that's it. You may feel more driven to stay on track when you see small losses throughout the week. And a lot of other websites, heart.org recommend it, Medicine Net recommend it, MyFitnessPal recommend it, Weight Loss Resources recommend it. I can't think of anything worse, because I don't want to see the small losses. I prefer, well, for me personally, I prefer the anticipation of standing on the scales at the end of the week in order to hopefully see the bigger number. For me, seeing that I've lost 4 grams from Monday to Tuesday doesn't do nothing for me at all. But if I got on the scales a week later and I've lost 4 pounds, then that's enough. That gives me a kick up the arse to then move on to the next week. So, you know, there are pros and cons to weighing yourself daily. I'm not sure if anyone's weight fluctuates so much to the point where they can see, like, oh, I've lost 3 pounds in the last 24 hours. I'm not quite sure if that really happens or not.
I think
But some people say that it does.
Yeah, I think another thing is that if you've got, let's say, for instance, you've got a set of scales and you put them on their side up against your wardrobe in the bedroom, and each morning you get them out and you put them on your piece of carpet and you stand there and you weigh yourself. Whales are scales.
Whales. Who are you calling a whale?
Scales obviously need to be calibrated correctly, the same as any weighing measurement tools that are out there. Now, it can honestly depend where those scales are on that carpet, what the surface is like, what you're standing on, where you're standing. It can be loads of things. And that 1 pound, it may be that you've actually lost a pound, but it's not showing. That could be the difference between something demotivating you and motivating you. So again, you know, if you're moving a set of scales, logic would say that they're going to gradually get out of calibration. They're never going to be exact. Whereas if you've got digital scales at a club that are there, you're only ever measuring on one set of scales.
At the same time of day as well.
Same time of day. I mean, ours is, you know, I think you do your sort of 9:30 in the morning as well, don't you? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. We're sort of between 9 and 9:30. You know, and again, as you said earlier, if you get a chance to stay for the meeting, if you think you're having a bad week, stay for the meeting. Listen, just get yourself motivated. The last few times we haven't been able to stay because we've had other things that, you know, going on. But yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't be, you know, unless you've got a set of scales somewhere, like, I don't know, in the garage or whatever, and they never get moved, and they're always on, or, you know, then that might be different. But again, why would you want to do it each day?
I think it's different for everyone. I mean, everyone. Some people, their weight does fluctuate, and maybe they like the idea of being able to see that, you know, they've been out for a really long walk and they've lost a pound, and that kind of pushes them on to the next day. And I suppose there's no real right answer. You know, it's whatever works for you. What works for me is weighing myself once a week on the scales at Slimming World. Having said that, like I said earlier on, I weighed myself this morning just out of interest because my other half said she'd weighed herself. So I thought, well, why not? What have I got to lose? Went up to the scales, stood up to the bathroom, put them in the same place where I always put them, stepped on, told me I'd put on nearly 15 stone or whatever, because the last person to stand on them was Denise. So the big red light come on. And it's just like, oh, what a downer. So then I stood on, and it said I'd lost 5 pounds since Monday. So, I mean, I don't know, but, you know, it's pushed me on to carry on. We are heading now into the weekend now. I've got events Friday, Saturday. We've got Sunday lunch on Sunday, and then I've got a wedding in the evening. So, you know, there's going to need to be a lot of planning and preparation this week, certainly for me.
It's going to be a test, isn't it? It's going to be a test.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
But on the flip side of that, if you can come out of this weekend, hang on. If you can come out of this weekend and you're doing well, then I mean, that's going to be a great thing, isn't it? That really is. Yeah, you know, that'll G you up.
So we're eating out on Sunday, and that nicely leads us on to the eating out topic, which is something you mentioned in our Facebook group earlier this week. Now, we had a reply from Terry Brandon. Hi, Terry. Thanks for being in the group. Terry says, why is the only healthy option always a salad? Chicken breast salad, £15. So because I refuse to pay 15 quid for chicken and lettuce, I get cod and chips for 10 quid out of principle. Why then, when you ask for a soft drink that isn't fizzy, they only have drinks with 40 grams of sugar in? I agree with that. Eating out with a child, chicken nuggets, chips and beans, fish fingers, chips and beans, never anything like chicken, rice and veg. Why, when they advertise kids' meals, they don't have cutlery for the children, so they come over with a giant fork and steak knife. drives me mad. And yeah, Terry, we hear you completely. You know, eating out, when you look at, I mean, with the exception of Weatherspoons do really well with their healthy options, because they have loads of different menus, and then they have a vegan menu, a vegetarian menu, and then they have, I don't know what they call it, like an under 500 calorie menu or something like that. So Weatherspoons are really quite good. And I have noticed that a lot of restaurants have, including McDonald's and Burger King and KFC and all those other places, are now putting their calorie content, some nutritional information on the food that you get, and that can be really helpful, and it will help you make wise choices. But what Terry says is really true. Why would you spend £15 on a chicken salad when you can get cod and chips for a tenner? It doesn't work, doesn't figure out in my head. So are we being forced? Are we, because, you know, we're going through a financial crisis at the minute, there's not a lot of money going around. Are people going the healthier option because it is more expensive and going down the junk food road?
I think, I mean, I totally agree with what Terry's saying, even so much that, you know, you go into Tesco's or you go into Iceland's or somewhere like that, and the cheapest foods are the most unhealthy foods. You know,
visitor, by the way.
Oh yeah, you could probably hear my visitor in the background. Someone just walked past about a mile away, and the dog kept barking.
Yeah, he got stressed out and went to the back door.
Yeah, bless. Yeah, I mean, it's the crap food. It's the crap food that's the cheapest to buy, and it's no wonder that, you know, in today's world where money is so tight for so many people, that the easy option is to buy that crap food and probably kid yourself that that's okay. You know, I'll have that at the moment. But, you know, and some people just haven't got a choice. They can't choose to go and have organic food or homegrown produce or anything like that. Or, you know, and I know some places do vegetables really cheap, you know, and, you know, I just think it's so
time is a factor as well, because, you know, we all have really busy lives. You know, we don't, you know, some of these like HelloFresh meals, right, they take 30 to 40 minutes. Even just the preparation of some of the vegetables can take 10 or 15 minutes, and a lot of people, they don't want to wait for that. You know, they want food, and they need to have it right now. They come in. How many times have you know, kids have come in from playing out, or even you did when you were younger, and you just go, oh, I'm starving, I need to eat. What's for dinner? I've got to eat now. If I don't eat now, I'm going to die. And this is the problem, because you can phone up, you can go on to Just Eat on your phone, and you can order a McDonald's, and it'll be here within 10, 15 minutes, right? Or you can order from the Chinese takeaway. I mean, the one that we used to use up the road, we'd order, it's literally 100 meters up the road. We go and pick it up 15 minutes later. Instant food gratification, get in my belly, thank you very much. And this is the problem, because time is a big factor for people. People don't have time to go and buy the ingredients, to prepare the ingredients, to actually cook the dinner, and then do the washing up afterwards. It's a drag. So is it any wonder fast food is so much of a better option for a lot of people?
Agreed. You know, it's, the other thing is batch cooking, isn't it? You know, if you can find yourself time for an hour on a Sunday night to make, I mean, you can make a healthy spaghetti bolognese, for instance. And I mean a healthy spaghetti bolognese. You can make it with turkey mince. You know, you could make it with celery. You can make it with tomato puree, tinned tomatoes. You can pretty much make a spaghetti bolognese for not a lot of money and for not a lot of calories, that you can make a big batch up, and then you could possibly have that with, you could have it with salad one night, you could have it with jacket potato, you could have it with your pasta. There's lots of things you can do. So there, you know, again, and if you've got a freezer, just go and buy some cheap plastic tubs, fill them up. There's your portion size. You're going to get used to your portion sizing. Stick them in the freezer. You know, make up a few different things. You know, do it that way. That's, you know, my mum always taught me that when I was younger. And you know, when I first got my first house, I think, or flat, that's exactly what I did. Just stuck it in the freezer, you know. And then when I got home, I wanted something, in the microwave, defrost, or put it in a pan, cook it, nice and easy. You know, and I do also think that you enjoy your food more as well, and you taste more of it if you've cooked it yourself. Because again, you know, you know that you've taken the time and the effort to do it. So,
And not
and you
only
know
that,
exactly.
You know exactly what's gone in it,
That's it.
which is
So
what you were just about to say. So
yeah, so you've got no added sugars, you've got no added salt. You only put in what you want, and you know, and I know, even from the Hello Freshes, you know those recipes that you can substitute things. So if in a Hello Fresh one that's under 650 calories, for instance, and it gives you a tub of creme fraiche, well, actually, if you've got fat-free creme fraiche, stick that in. You're saving yourself even more.
Mm.
You ain't going to notice a difference, I can assure
Mm.
you. So you know, once you know, and it, you know, the basic that everything's on YouTube about cooking food. It's you know, it's not
Oh,
hard.
it's a nightmare. I mean, if you just look through my Facebook feed, there are literally just videos on top of videos of fried chicken and this and that, which is kind of like the opposite of what I'm trying to do at the minute. So is this the Facebook algorithm at work here,
Oh yeah,
showing me and tempting me with all these like these other fantastic foods? It probably is.
yeah,
And I think the other thing is when you're eating out, you've got no idea how these things are cooked. So you know you've got no idea how much oil they're using, how much salt, how much MSG they're sticking in there, what they're cooking it in. Are they sharing vegan and vegetarian food with meat and all that kind of thing? Oh, I'm going to have a salad, but then you're going to cover it in like dressing.
yeah.
What's on the
Oil.
dressing?
Yeah,
It's just like, well, I'm having a salad. It's all right, isn't it? Sure, yeah. But if you've covered it in vinaigrette, which is probably full of oil and all sorts of different things and salt and God knows what else, you really have to look at. You have to break it. You have to break it down
yeah,
and look at all of the different components that make what you're about to eat.
yeah. Do
And it's
you watch?
scary.
Do you watch many cooking programs?
Not anymore, for
Is
that reason.
is that because of yeah? I mean, the one thing that I mean, I do enjoy. I love cooking anyway, and I enjoy watching cooking programs. And I don't sit there and sort of drool as I'm watching, thinking, God, I wish I could eat that now. I honestly don't. I'm more in. I really like. I like to know what the techniques are about achieving something you want to achieve. You know what you can do if you do it this way or that way, or why you would add salt to this, or why you would fry that first to a translucent, you know, consistency, or whatever, you know, things like that. So I enjoy all of that. But the one thing I have noticed well, I was saying recently, over the last few years, is this myth that olive oil is great for you. You know, let's put more olive oil on it. You know, you make a soup and you drizzle bloody oil on top of a soup. I mean, that's just unnecessary calories going in your body. Is it
I think I
really going
think
to?
I think olive oil is probably a better choice than some of the other oils that you can put on there.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. But again, do you really need olive oil on it? Probably not. You know, can you tell me that if you were cooking, say, let's say you were cooking tomatoes in a pan in the morning, if you were to use spray light stuff, you know, which is like no calories, if you were to use that as opposed to a normal oil, would you honestly eat that and think, oh God,
I think the thing here is that we eat with our eyes quite a
yeah,
lot. So when you're faced with a bowl of pasta that maybe looks maybe a little bit dried out or whatever, we'll take lasagna as an example, right? If you have a lasagna that you've got a shop bought one that comes in a little packet about that big, right, from Tesco's or wherever. You put it in the oven, it comes out. It could look a bit dried out and a bit meh. Yeah, if you go to an Italian restaurant, you can bet your life that they've covered it in oil to make it look good.
yeah,
Right. And this is the thing. I think oils are used to make food look good because as it arrives on your table at your favorite restaurant and you look at it and you go, oh, look at that. And then everyone else goes, oh yeah, I wish I'd ordered that. Look at mine. Mine's tiny, mine's rubbish. And this is it. Oil glistens. It makes things look good.
you're right.
So
The glistening bit when the light catches it and it's just that little sort of sparkle.
oh, that looks juicy. Yeah, I want a
Boy,
piece of
look at
that.
that. Yeah, and the nice ripe tomatoes in there. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
but I mean, Terry, to answer your question, you can have your cod and chips, but if you ask the guy behind the counter at your chippy to do if they do a grilled cod or a cod without batter, then I'm sure they do that. I'm sure they do that as an option.
yeah. They probably would, wouldn't they? I mean,
Hmm.
you might have to pre-order it, mightn't you? But again,
Um, it depends. I mean, most chip shops, I don't know. Do most chip shops have like a grill option? Not sure. I think some of them are kind of like built into kebab shops. They're kind of like kebab shops as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they have kind of like a grill thing. But again, you know, what's that been cleaned and wiped with, and what oils have they used on that? It's just easier to eat at home because you know exactly what you've put in your food.
Do
So
you think that it's a British mentality as well about we don't want to be causing too much hassle? You know, oh,
yeah,
I'd love to go there and I'd love to say, you know, have you ever sat with someone going out for a meal and they say, oh yeah, could I have this? But could you do this and could you do that? And you sit there and you roll your eyes and think, oh, shut up and just get on with it.
yeah, no,
And it's a
exactly.
very British thing, you know, but
Yeah,
actually, you know, if you are conscious of what you're doing, and that's probably not a bad thing, because if you're paying for the food anyway, why are you not getting it how you want it?
yeah.
You
And
know,
I think that's more of a thing in America. I think I've seen more of that kind of um, being specific with how they make your food. I think that's more of a thing in America. Like over here, I don't think that's a thing at all.
yeah, true. Um, just going on to that as well. I mean, yeah, thanks for that, Terry. And that's an interesting topic. It really is. And yeah, it's like you say, you know, you pay 15 quid for a salad that probably costs about 2.5 quid to make. Yet you'll pay a tenner for fish and chips, which probably costs a fiver to make, or I don't know. I mean, it's just, yeah, there's no real incentive for people to eat healthily. Is it that it takes more time to do that? Is it that they, you know, is it just all about, you know, quick turnaround and getting bums on seats, getting them eating and getting them out as soon as possible? Perhaps it is.
Possibly.
Perhaps it
Um,
is.
just looking through the Facebook group, want to say hello to Keith Brace, who's in the group.
Yeah, hi, Keith.
Thanks for having me. Hopefully your journey will inspire me to lose some weight and cut out the fizzy drinks whilst doing a gig. 3 to 4 pints of cola is not helping, even if it is a diet version. Keith, I am totally with you on that. I used to drink obscene amounts of Diet Coke. We could buy 24 cans and they'd last 4 or 5 days, if that, at a gig, pints of Diet Coke, loads of them, or even a fat Coke every now and again. Why not? But you know what? I've switched. I switched to water along. Yeah, probably. I started drinking a lot more water last year. Um, I don't drink a lot of Diet Coke now. I can't actually stand the taste of it. I don't mind the odd one every now and again,
Yeah.
but I can't stand the taste of it now. It just tastes like syrupy shit.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say I've got a friend who kind of follows all these conspiracy theories, and he goes on about sort of like the ingredients and things like Diet Coke, how they can affect your memory, which makes me think, well, yeah, I've got that because I've got a really shit memory. So I'm just wondering whether it's just all the abuse of drinking a chemically concocted drink for most of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. The other interesting thing about Diet Coke is, or zero, yeah, Diet Coke, sugar free Coke is, although it is Diet Coke or sugar free, you are still getting that sugar rush to your brain, aren't you? Because you're getting that sweetness. So your brain still craves the sweetness. So it's quite counteractive, actually. You know, and like again, we've touched on before, you know, if you're working at a wedding or a party or whatever, and you ask for a drink, the choices of, you know, low fat drinks that you've got available to you are probably only water or Diet Coke. You know, there was a time where you could probably get a slimline tonic, I guess,
And lime juice or something
and
like
lime
that, maybe.
juice. Yeah. You've got water, but then if you've got water, it's probably mass produced, syrupy, concentrated juice that goes into it that they get from the brewer or the supplier. So that's probably not doing you any good either.
5 minutes later.
So I've got no idea what happened there. Hopefully I can make it seamless in the video, but I think it was Nick's fault.
I think it was.
I think we were talking about fizzy drinks, weren't we? Before we got rudely interrupted.
Yeah, so basically what I was saying is if you're working and the choices you've got are normally water or Diet Coke, or you've got juice. And if you've got juice, the chances are it's some mass-produced syrup that's added to water, which is probably not very good for you, not very healthy, full of sugar, full of crap, and probably something you shouldn't really be drinking anyway. So the choices, or you've got a slimline tonic, which I think we mentioned before as well, which probably isn't the most exciting of drinks. So, what do? Do you make up your own drink? Do you take it with you? Because I suppose if you're doing it that way, then you can actually gauge exactly how much drink you're drinking as well. So that might be the way to do it. But again, it's that effort. It's that initial effort of, thinking to yourself before you leave home, right, I'm going to make a drink. I'm going to drink.
Preparation.
It's preparation. You've just got to find the time, haven't you?
I've got a 1 litre chili bottle, and I fill it with water before I go. Well, before I really go anywhere. So when I'm working during the day, I do a lot of driving, so I take the chili bottle out that way. I try to make sure it's empty by the time I get home, so I know I've drank a litre of water. Same when I go to a gig, and I actually find the water a lot more refreshing. But I can only drink bottled water. I'm a bit posh. I can't drink tap water. I just can't bring myself to drink it. It just doesn't taste nice. So yeah, I go for the spring water because I'm posh. So
proper posh, shouldn't you?
But yeah, I mean, some people even take flasks of tea or coffee, and hey, well, why not? Anything's got to be better than a fizzy drink.
Yeah, but again, when who was it that asked the question about drinks? Was it?
I think it was Keith. Keith.
Okay, so yeah, going back to your point, Keith, about that. Yeah, it's difficult. It really is. It's what do you even Diet Coke, as again we've mentioned, Diet Coke is designed to give your brain that hit of sweetness, so you will still crave sweet things. So it's probably not doing you that much good, even though it is Diet Coke, and it says on the tin, hey, it's Diet Coke. It's going to be really good for you. Well,
and plus also at a venue, what's the bet that the Diet Coke that they pour you has come out of a big plastic sort of 2 litre bottle, and it may not be fizzy, it'll be flat. How many times have you had a glass of flat Diet Coke? It's the worst drink in the world. The best Diet Coke either comes straight out of a can or one of them little glass bottles.
The best,
if you're going to have one.
The best Diet Coke is full fat Coke.
That is exactly right.
Because that's the one that tastes like Coke. But again, if you were being served by a waitress or a very busy bar, and all they're doing is pressing the trigger.
Oh yeah.
All they're doing is pressing the trigger, and the syrup and the soda is coming out or whatever. You probably don't even know you're getting a Diet Coke.
No.
You could be getting a half a glass full of sugar and crap and syrup. So, you're probably better off just the preparation, or just going down to Lidl's or Aldi's and buying yourself some bottled water and taking it with you. And I think you can just buy the little shots as well that you can add to the water, can't you?
Yeah, you can do. And the other good thing about bottled water is it's actually cheaper than fuel. So
It's just a shame my van doesn't run on it.
A liter of water is what? Well, some places maybe £1.10, £1.15. A liter of fuel, well, a liter of diesel, £1.80. Nice. Well, we're going to wrap this up, I think. What goals for this week?
Goals for this week. So I would like to get off. I think being realistic, again, I've got a busy weekend. If I can get a weight loss of £3 this week, I'll be really pleased. Because again, that's getting me on to sort of pretty much 3.5 stone then. So yeah, I'll be really pleased with that. What about you?
I'm aiming for 4. So because last week I wanted 3.
Yeah.
To get into my next half stone.
Yeah.
But in order to now pull back that 1 that I've put on, I'm aiming for 4 this week. So I'll get into my next half stone. So that's my aim. Just got to get over the weekend. So we'll see how we crack on. But listen, guys, thank you very much for listening and watching. If you're watching on YouTube, check all of our links down there. You'll find links to our Anchor page and all of our Apple and Spotify and all that kind of stuff. Do keep checking in the Facebook group, Too Fat DJs. Check us out in there. You can come and have a chat about health, nutrition, or whatever you want. DJing, anything goes in there, okay? But yeah, we'd love to hear from you. If you've got any questions we can address in future editions, then we want to hear from you.
What about, we've got an email address as well now, haven't we?
We have, yeah. If you want to email us, it is podcast@toofatdjs.co.uk. So podcast@toofatdjs.co.uk. If you're watching on the video, that would have appeared down here somewhere.
Yeah. And again, if anyone does email us, you know, we don't have to say your name on air if you would prefer to stay anonymous. If there's something, you know, you're not sure about, or you want to ask, or if you like the podcast, please tell us. If you don't like the podcasts, we don't care, really.
Please tell us.
No, we don't care.
No,
no, seriously. If you think there's anything we can do to improve it, then fine. A couple of things we've thought about as well. This morning, I thought I was going to try and reach out to a couple of people I know in the music industry that are big people, that I'm going to see if I can persuade them to record an interview or get them on board as well, just to see how, again, someone in the public sort of, you know, limelight, how they deal with it, how they have dealt with it. Have they had to change? Are they being told that they've got to look different? You know, will it help their career? So I've got a couple of people that I want to talk to about that. So that's a possibility. We also, my son messaged me at midnight the other night when he'd listened to the podcast and said how much he enjoyed them. And he said, I'd love to come on there, Dad, and talk about, you know, what it's like for a young person being big. And, you know, do young people get bullied now for being big? Or, you know, is that down to the individual? Can they sort of overcome that? Are there ways of doing it? So we're going to get Benji on at some point, and I might do an interview with Benji privately, and then we'll air it on, you know, onto another podcast. But we'll see. You know, we've got lots of ideas. Again, if you've got a story to tell and you want to share it, let us know. You know, we'd love to have you on board. We really would. Or if there's something else that you think that we should be doing, let us know. We're very new to this and very sort of raw. So we're just trying to make it as interesting as possible for people, and just as as engaging as possible as well. So, you know, just let us know what you want.
Excellent. And don't forget, if you do like what we're doing, share us as much as possible around the internet. We may even start our own TikTok page. I've got no idea how to do a TikTok, but it seems to be where all the cool kids hang out. So we may check that out as well.
If we do a TikTok page, can we dance in our pants?
No. We could do an OnlyFans page for that.
Oh, yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. Or is it a Patreon site? A Patreon site is where people pay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you heard of those? So they pay and then they get exclusive content. So, for instance, you know when I said about walking around the supermarket with my pants falling down my leg? I could do
we appear to be going down a dirty corridor from which there is no return.
You know that picture? Do you remember that picture from the 70s and the 80s of the lady tennis player scratching her bum? Do you remember that? I would happily pose with that picture in my garden near the washing line, holding something like a mop.
I'm waiting for you to talk about a Too Fat DJs calendar now.
Yeah. So if someone wants to see that, again, just let me know. And, you know, I'm sure we can arrange that. But, you know, I'm up.
All right, let's call it a day. Thank you very much. See you later.
See you, everyone. Have a great week. See you.
And you. Bye.
Bye, Ian. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.